like an awful lot of fun, doesn't it?
Yeah. Wait a minute here. There is something here that needs explaining.
What needs explaining?
What's all this nonsense about you dancing with Van Johnson?
It's not nonsense. I did dance with Van Johnson.
She's told so many of those wild stories, she's beginning to believe them herself.
The world knows her as Lucy, the wide-eyed redhead who could turn any situation into comedy gold. But behind those famous expressions and perfectly timed pratfalls was Lucille Ball, a pioneer who revolutionized entertainment in ways that still echo through Hollywood today. She wasn't just television's queen of comedy, she was a groundbreaking businesswoman who shattered glass ceilings when most women weren't even allowed in the room. In an era when television was just finding its feet, Lucille Ball didn't just star in front of the camera, she helped reshape the entire industry from behind it. While audiences were laughing at her antics in the chocolate factory or her misadventures with Vitamea Tavegamin, she was quietly making history as the first woman to run a major television studio. But perhaps what made Lucy truly extraordinary wasn't just her talent for making people laugh, or even her business acumen. It was her relentless determination to succeed on her own terms. When executives said a Cuban bandleader couldn't play her husband on television, she fought back. When conventional wisdom said pregnancy couldn't be shown on TV, she proved them wrong. When others saw obstacles, Lucille Ball saw opportunities. Her story isn't just about making people laugh, though she did that better than almost anyone. It's about breaking barriers, taking control of your destiny, and proving that talent knows no gender. From a young girl in Jamestown, New York, who was told she didn't have what it takes, to becoming the most powerful woman in television, this is the story of how Lucille Ball changed entertainment forever. If Lucille Ball were starting her career in today's entertainment industry, what kind of show do you think she would create? Who would be her modern-day comedy partner? Early life and background. Born on August 6, 1911, in Jamestown, New York, Lucille Ball's early years were marked by hardship and loss. When she was only 3 years old, her father, Henry Ball, died of typhoid fever, leaving her mother, Dee Dee, to navigate life as a young widow. This devastating loss would shape Lucy's perspective on family and security for the rest of her life. Living with her grandparents in nearby Kelleron, young Lucy found herself under the strict supervision of her grandmother, Flora Bell. It was during these formative years that she first discovered her love for performing, often staging shows in her family's barn and recruiting neighborhood children as her co-stars. Her grandfather, Fred Hunt, encouraged her theatrical aspirations, spending his modest savings to enroll her in drama school. But the path to stardom wasn't immediate. As a teenager, Lucy worked various jobs to help support her family, including as a soda jerk and local department store model. At 15, she convinced her mother to let her enroll in the John Murray Anderson School of Drama in New York City. However, her dreams hit an early setback when her teachers told her she had no future in performing. Ironically, they encouraged her to try another career, suggesting she didn't have what it took to succeed in show business. Undeterred, Lucy found work as a model under the name Diane Belmont, posing for fashion houses and commercial photographers. She caught the eye of legendary designer Hattie Carnegie and became one of her in-house models. This early exposure to the camera helped Lucy develop the precise physical comedy and timing that would later make her famous. Even during these early modeling days, she was known for making funny faces and turning serious poses into comedic moments. The Great Depression hit the Ball family hard, forcing Lucy to take on even more odd jobs to survive. But these struggles only strengthened her resolve to succeed in entertainment. By the late 1920s, she had dyed her naturally brown hair blonde and was determined to make it in Hollywood, carrying with her the lessons of perseverance learned during those difficult early years in Jamestown. Breaking into show business, arriving in Hollywood in 1933, Lucille Ball began her climb to stardom as one of Samuel Goldwyn's Goldwyn Girls, appearing as a chorus girl in films like Roman Scandals and Kid Millions. Her striking looks and determination caught attention, but major starring roles remained elusive. She earned the nickname Queen of the Bees, appearing in dozens of bee movies throughout the 1930s, where she refined her craft but struggled to break through to leading roles. Everything changed when she landed a starring role in the radio show My Favorite Husband in 1948. Playing Liz Cooper, a zany housewife who got into weekly misadventures, Lucy finally found a platform that showcased her comedic timing. The show's success caught CBS's attention, and they approached her about adapting it for the emerging medium of television. But Lucy had one condition that would change television history. She insisted that her real-life husband, Cuban bandleader Desi Arnaz, play her on-screen spouse. CBS executives balked at the idea, convinced that American audiences wouldn't accept an all-American girl married to a Cuban man. What the executives didn't count on was Lucy's determination and business savvy. Together with Desi, she formed Desilu Productions and took their show on the road, proving through successful vaudeville performances that audiences would not only accept them as a couple, but love them. Their chemistry was undeniable, and their performances drew crowds across the country. The tour's success forced CBS to reconsider their position. During this period, Lucy also demonstrated her keen business sense. Rather than simply accepting CBS's terms, she and Desi negotiated ownership rights to their shows, a revolutionary concept at the time. They also insisted on filming in Hollywood rather than broadcasting live from New York, another departure from television norms that would later prove incredibly profitable. This period marked Lucy's transformation from struggling actress to entertainment innovator. She had learned from years of setbacks that success required more than just talent. It needed vision, determination, and the courage to challenge industry conventions. Her insistence on working with Desi wasn't just about keeping her marriage intact, it was about maintaining creative control over her career and challenging the prejudices of 1950s America. Lucy took a huge risk by insisting on casting Desi Arnaz as her TV husband against studio wishes. What do you think would have happened if she had compromised? Share your thoughts below. I Love Lucy Era, I Love Lucy premiered on October 15, 1951, and television would never be the same. The show wasn't just funny, it was revolutionary. Filming with 3 cameras before a live studio audience using high-quality 35mm film instead of cheaper kinescope, Lucy and Desi created the template for how sitcoms would be made for decades to come. The show's success was unprecedented. More than 70% of American households with televisions tuned in weekly to watch Lucy Ricardo's schemes inevitably backfire. From the iconic grape-stomping episode to the chocolate factory assembly line, Lucy created moments that became part of American cultural DNA. But it was the episode where Lucy gives birth to little Ricky that made history, drawing 44 million viewers, more than Eisenhower's presidential inauguration the following day. Behind the scenes, every episode was a masterclass in precision. Lucy's seemingly effortless physical comedy actually required exhaustive rehearsals. She insisted on perfecting every gesture, every facial expression, every pratfall. The famous Vita Meata Vegamin commercial scene took dozens of takes to achieve the perfect progression from sobriety to tipsiness. Her dedication to craft transformed what could have been simple slapstick into comedic art. The show broke new ground in other ways too. When Lucille Ball became pregnant with Desi Jr., rather than hide it or pause production, they wrote the pregnancy into the show, something television had never done before. They couldn't even use the word pregnant on air. They said expecting. But millions of Americans watched as Lucy balanced impending motherhood with her dreams of show business. Lucy's relationship with co-stars Vivian Vance and William Frawley added another dimension to the show. While the on-screen friendship between Lucy and Ethel became legendary, off-screen relationships were more complex. Vivian Vance initially resented being cast as Lucy's frumpy sidekick, while William Frawley's drinking habits caused constant tension. Yet on camera, their chemistry was perfect, creating one of television's greatest ensemble casts. The show ended its original run in 1957, finishing as the most watched show in America for 4 of its 6 seasons. But even after expanding to hour-long specials as the Lucy Desi Comedy Hour, the magic remained. Lucy's performances during this era didn't just entertain, they established situation comedy as television's dominant format and proved that a woman could be both funny and powerful in an industry dominated by men. Which I Love Lucy episode do you think best showcases Lucille Ball's comedic genius, and why? Is it the chocolate factory scene, the Vita Mea Tavagamine commercial, or another classic moment? Desilu Productions and business success. When Lucille Ball became president of Desilu Productions in 1962, she wasn't just breaking the glass ceiling, she was shattering it. After buying out Desi's share following their divorce, she became the first woman to head a major television production studio, overseeing a multi-million-dollar empire that would help shape television's golden age. Under Lucy's leadership, Desilu took bold risks that transformed television history. She personally greenlit ambitious projects that other studios had rejected, including Star Trek and Mission Impossible. When her financial advisors warned against these expensive, untested shows, Lucy trusted her instincts. Both series became cultural phenomena, generating billions in revenue over the decades that followed. The studio lot under her watch was a testament to efficient production. At its peak, Desilu was producing 17 shows simultaneously, including The Untouchables, The Andy Griffith Show, and various Lucy series. She ran the studio with an iron will, making tough decisions that sometimes meant firing old friends or cancelling underperforming shows. Yet she also maintained the family atmosphere that had characterized Desilu from its earliest days. Lucy's business innovations went beyond just producing shows. She pioneered the rerun concept, recognizing early on that previously aired episodes could generate additional revenue. The decision to film I Love Lucy on high-quality 35mm film rather than cheaper kinescope made this possible, proving her forward-thinking business acumen. She also understood the international market's potential, making Desilu one of the first studios to actively pursue global distribution deals. Perhaps most remarkably, she achieved all this while continuing to star in her own shows. Managing a major studio while maintaining a successful performing career was unprecedented, especially for a woman in the 1960s. She worked punishing hours, often moving between business meetings and rehearsal in the same day, yet never compromised on quality in either role. Personal life and challenges behind the laughter. Lucille Ball's personal life was marked by complex relationships. Her marriage to Desi Arnaz, beginning in 1940, became one of Hollywood's most complicated love stories. Despite their on-screen chemistry and business success, their relationship suffered from Desi's drinking, infidelity, and the pressures of running their empire. The couple faced heartbreak with multiple miscarriages before welcoming daughter Lucy in 1951 and son Desi Jr. in 1953. While I Love Lucy portrayed perfect family life, reality was different. Lucy and Desi often lived separate lives, with Desi spending late nights at clubs while Lucy focused on their children and career. In 1960, after 20 years of marriage, they divorced, though they remained friends until Desi's death. Lucy found happiness again in 1961 with comedian Gary Morton, a marriage that lasted until her death. Morton provided the emotional stability she needed, helping manage her career and supporting her personal growth. Despite personal challenges, Lucy maintained close relationships with her children, who followed her into show business. She channeled her experiences into her work, using them to add depth to her performances and inform her business decisions. Later, career and final years. After selling Desilu, Lucy continued performing with Here's Lucy, 1968 to 1974, starring alongside her children, Lucy and Desi Jr. Though her 1974 film Mame received mixed reviews, she remained a beloved figure through television specials and guest appearances throughout the 1970s. The 1980s saw Lucy making strategic appearances that reinforced her legendary status. She received the Kennedy Center Honors in 1986, celebrating her extraordinary contributions to American entertainment. Her final television venture, Life with Lucy, 1986, lasted only 8 episodes. But even this setback couldn't diminish her remarkable legacy. Lucy's last public appearance was at the 1989 Academy Award, where she received a moving standing ovation. She passed away shortly after, on April 26, 1989, from an aortic rupture, leaving behind an entertainment empire she had built and a path she had blazed for future generations of women in television. Legacy. Lucille Ball's impact on entertainment transcends generations. As television's first female mogul, she redefined women's roles in Hollywood, while her comedic genius established standards for sitcoms that persist today. From pioneering the rerun syndication to developing multi-camera shooting techniques, her innovations revolutionized television production. Her influence extends from business to comedy, inspiring countless performers and executives. I Love Lucy continues to air worldwide, introducing new audiences to her timeless appeal, while her groundbreaking achievements at Desilu Productions remain a testament to her visionary leadership. If you've enjoyed this journey through the life of television's greatest pioneer, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell.